What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of EdgeWorks Knife Studio. Today I'm going to be sharpening it's not a new knife, but it's new in the form of I've had it and not sharpened it yet or used it. It is a Nakamura Hamono. This is it's 150 or 155 millimeter Santoku. At least that's what it was called. This one I did not get from Knife Japan, but I got it from the Japanese Food Craftsman, which you've heard me mention before. That's where I got the curved bunka. On their site, this is called Nakamura Blacksmith. On Knife Japan, this is Nakamura Hamono Miyazaki Prefecture, where my favorite is Oita Prefecture, which is the curved bunka guy. Before I get to showing you some stuff about that, though, and getting some details, this is one of the projects that I've been working on here recently, which is my katana. So I'm sure many of us that sharpen or love knives like katanas, right? I definitely did whenever I was a kid, for sure. This is a real carbon steel handmade Japanese katana. This one is on the cheaper side of things as far as katanas go. I do have some other higher end ones, but what I wanted to do with this is I've never sharpened one, right? I was always afraid to, and even after, sharpening knives now for like a decade, I never really gave the swords a try. One, I don't use my swords, so they have their factory edges, whenever they get hand polished. But number two, it was just kind of intimidating, right? So I was like, wait a minute, it can't really be all that difficult. So anyway, I disassembled this thing, and so far it's going really simple. If anyone wants to see a video on me finishing it, just leave a comment down below. I'll just show you my method. Maybe my method will help you if you have one and you're also intimidated like I was. It's actually really simple. I just kind of combined normal knife sharpening skills and knife polishing skills to this larger scale, and it's worked really well. I'll show you real quick in the GoPro. Oop. There goes my switcher, but that's okay. We'll get that in a minute. So you can see here how this side looks dull, right? You can see how it's been scratched. I used this 300 grit king here to do it. And on this side we're shiny, but we have spots where you can see where I sharpened it and was playing and trying to find a way. Well, I found a better way. So anyway, if you're interested, drop a comment, let me know, and I will definitely do a video on it. So let me grab my switcher here while I talk to you guys about this. Can't believe I dropped it. Steam Deck down. All right, this is the Nakamura Hamono. This has lacquer on it, so of course I will be taking the lacquer off with acetone. How we had mentioned before about these back heels not sharpening properly due to a bend in the knife, I also had to straighten that. It had a slight little curvature indent here. The knife is now straight. I didn't check the handle, but I think we're good. Anyway, it's a nice little knife made of Aogami. No, this one's Shirogami 2, I believe. No, Aogami 1. Yeah, this one's Aogami 1. I could be wrong about that. I need to double check. Most of his stuff is in Aogami 1 or 2. Anyway, so, but we're going to just go ahead and sharpen it up, put an edge, my edge on it. Like I said, I had to hit it with a hammer, so who knows. We'll also be doing, after the King 300 though, we're going to be doing the Debado LD101-DN. The DN, of course, I guess meaning that there's no base. So yeah, before we get started, just a reminder that we are doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. That is going to not be announced this Wednesday, but it will be announced a week from Wednesday. And then, like I said, there's going to be multiple winners in this giveaway. So all you got to do is make sure that you are a subscriber to my channel And make sure you leave comments for the last 3 weeks. You know, today's video, Wednesday's video, the weekend's video, etc. Also, Power AI, who did win the giveaway a couple weeks ago, he has graciously said that he has enough stones and he would like to pass that along to someone else that doesn't have as many stones or whatever. So I will be doing a redraw for that giveaway. So if you're interested, again, just leave a comment. What I'll do is all the comments I get from the last 2 weeks and today, I'm going to draw on Wednesday. That will not remove you from the 1K drawing giveaway, but that's just how I'll choose the drawing that Power AI has given up. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started here and we'll check her out. I'm going to try and get this to a nice paper towel, hanging paper towel, free hanging paper towel cutting edge. I am going to, my natural hold, you guys have probably heard me mention this before, but my natural hold is usually roughly around 15 to 17 degrees depending. I think that just comes from years of trying to hold about that angle after learning it. I have measured it with an actual leveling. It was one of those digital levels or whatever. So that is around what I hold at just by default. I'm going to try and make it a little slicier. So I'm going to try and roll it back a little bit, maybe closer to 13, just to see if we can get some more slice action. I wanted to use this King 300 because I've heard some people shitting on this lately. You guys know my love of King. I would just want to prove that this is not a bad stone. This stone is misused, and I don't mean that like it's abused or something. This is not really designed for stainless steels, and by that I mean the softer stainless steels that can plug this up. You can sharpen them, but it is more designed for carbon steel. King or Matsunaga has even said that themselves. So keeping that in mind, you can indeed sharpen stainless steel with it, but you need to get like a rust eraser, or you need to have a diamond plate handy to lap it frequently if you're doing softer stainless steels. It's not as bad with carbon steel. So anyway, let's go ahead and we'll give her a listen and we'll give her a little sharpen here. See, oh look, it lays flat on the stone. What do you know? Anyway, we'll give some long strokes here first, and then long strokes for different folks. Then we'll do some sharpening. So again, I'm going to try and rock this back a little bit to be more slicey. I'm going to do this. I'm going to check the surface and see where the bevel's holding. Also, I'm going to see how big the bevel is by holding it at that steeper edge angle there. Yeah, that's pretty steep. I'll bring that up a little bit, I think. Well, that's not so bad. I think that's just one of his, like, the wheel. How was everybody's 4th of July? I hope it was good. I, being the old fart that I am these days, I was in bed by like 8:30. I didn't shoot off any fireworks, so I wasn't going to risk getting a fine. I live in town, so it would have been easier to find me. I kind of live in town, I should say. But, yeah, they were out patrolling pretty hard. Of course, I don't know that anybody wrote a ticket, so I don't know why they're doing that unless they're just trying to like manufacture some city funds or county funds or something. Okay. That is some fresh steel. Even he didn't get to sharpen that spot right there. I keep saying he like I know him personally. Nakamura San. This guy is the one that's known as the happiest blacksmith. If you watch Japanese food craftsmen's videos, that's what he's labeled as. And he's always smiling. He's always laughing. He's kind of old. I think he's in his 70s anyway. But he's always smiling and having a good time. I think he likes to joke. And anyway, makes a lot of good knives. The Nakamura Hamono Hap 40 Bunka that I have is his. Okay, there we go. Make sure the tip looks good, and then we'll proceed. Woo! That was almost my fingers. You guys at all excited about this upcoming drawing? I'm giving away a lot of good stuff. Oh, that's something else. I am going to post a link. I need to I need to sell some stuff. So I have so much crap. And I just need to make some room. Number one, I need to offset some costs on some things. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the stuff that I want to sell. And it's kind of going to be like a store, like an online store, right? But basically, if you want it, you know, you can add it to cart or whatever. But then that's going to send me an email, and then we can do like a PayPal transaction that way, you know, something like that. That way I don't have to set up an e-commerce thing or necessarily go through Etsy, because I don't know how Etsy works, to be completely honest. I do want to use Etsy, but I know that they're like exorbitant amount of fees. So anyway, if anybody's interested, I'm going to be selling some knives and some stones. So be sure to check it out. Like I said, I'll post a link in the description and in a pinned comment. And what I may do is I may drop the link, because I still need to take some pictures of everything. So the stuff may not be in there tonight. There might be a couple things. But most of the stuff will be up over the next couple of days. Because like I said, I got to take pictures. I've got to, you know, I got to do all that fun stuff. So if anybody's interested, let me know. Or just wait. Knocking that burr off. Trying to make sure that I maintain this more steep angle here. Like I said, I just want to see if I can get this thing super slicey. That Suehiro, man, that thing has been a dream. I've been using the crap out of that Suehiro, and that thing is a cutter. I would definitely say, because, you know, others said it's kind of like, you know, VG10 on steroids. I would agree. If I think about my Suehiro DP, Suehiro DP Nakiri, which is in VG10, but throw on a massive, like, super retained edge steel, but be super stainless at the same time. Well, that's what that R2 Santoku is. And that thing, like I'm telling you, I've gone crazy the last several days just cooking things and cutting things, and tomatoes and cucumbers and onions and meat, and I cut cantaloupe with it, all kinds of stuff. And that thing is just, it's a beast. I'm glad I got it. I think between that, my ZDP 189 knives, and my Hap 40, that honestly, I don't really need much else. I want so much more. I mean, we all know that. but yeah, that, you know, I love my Aogami Supers. I mean, I've got so much stuff, guys. I don't need it all. I want it all. Surely you guys can relate to that. It's kind of like Pokemon, right? Gotta have them all. I don't really know much about Pokemon, but my son, he used to always love it. And I know that was one of the things that was always said, gotta catch them all or something. Okay. Man, I almost wonder if I got like a bend that I missed. There's no way, because I stared that thing out. Let me just double check here. No, we're good. Okay. Oh, never mind. That was just a burr. My old eyes deceived me. Okay, I'm going to do a few more little spot concentrations that don't look as even. And then we'll do some long strokes. We'll go on to the Debado. Those of you guys that are razor shavers or just like to use, you know, shave soaps and stuff, be sure to check out my guy Eric the Cajun Blade. He has an Etsy store too. He has some really great shave soaps. They're tallow based. They got a new one with Sean Stepelfield and him, and it's called Cuba Libre. I'm going to botch that by saying that the improper Americanized way. Kind of reminds me of the cigar Cuba Libre. I love smoking cigars. By the way, if any of you guys are cigar smokers, let me know. I've got a ton of those too. But yes, check it out. He has so many soaps that are just bangers. Ford de Pins. Again, these are like Cajun ways to say things, I think. French as well. And I suck at all kinds of pronunciations that ain't English. So just check them out though. I'm going to tell you. Best soaps I've ever used. Now, I'm also going to tell you this. I am not the most seasoned straight razor and soap guy, but I can tell you I know the difference between using his soaps and those other soaps that I've tried. So far, his has been the best for my face. It lathers really well. They're very thirsty. Keep that in mind. But they are excellent, excellent soaps. I'm just knocking this burr off, and then I'm going to the 1000 because I don't need to pay a lot of attention to deburring yet. Some people deburr like crazy before each stone. I'm one that does that occasionally, but this is fine. No, that's not though. There's a huge burr right there. I could join it, I guess, but well, that thing, I can bend it back and forth with my hand. There we go. I've never done that before. That was just a huge, it's like a metal boner. Good Lord. All right. I'm going to set old Bessie down here. I'm going to take out our king. I got to tell you, talking about that sword, polishing a sword, that can be kind of a very painstaking and frustrating, process, but because normally I talk about how I do sharpening for relaxation. And there we go, by the way. And for a while, trying to sharpen that sword, that was not relaxing. In fact, it was the opposite of relaxing. Once I figured a groove out, it's a whole different creature. Oh, let me straighten this out. If I don't, it'll drive me nuts. All right, Debado, baby. Haven't used it in a while. Figured I'd burst her out here. Make sure we gooched. All right. Here we go. Let's listen to this bad boy. She sounds good. It's like butter. If you don't have a Debado, get a Debado. They're great stones. They feel good. You know, that's like, well, hell, I've already got a burr. And that was just a very short amount. They're super, like, velvety smooth, you know. They're hard, but they're super smooth. Another thing I don't like is it seems to be loading up a little here. But let's see. Yeah, it'll mostly wipe out. I probably need to lap it a little bit too. I'm pretty sure I lapped this thing when I put it up last time, but I don't know. I always check my stones, you know, before I start the video. I get out my level, you know, like my square, and I'll check and make sure they're true and whatnot. But and this one was. But the surface kind of feels like it might be a little rough. I'll show you what I'm talking about because you can see it before wiping it off here. Set the knife down, I'll show you. So you can see here, like the surface, what I'm talking about, how it looks kind of spotty. You know, it kind of looks like, well, like little bitty, yeah, like dots. So that feels the same way under my finger. Like those dots, I can feel them. So they're kind of irregular. The surface is normally smooth, so I don't know if maybe, oh, you know, it's probably because I use this. I remember I talked about this with my king stones, and how that kind of changes the surface a little bit. It doesn't really do much like to harm your sharpening. It just, it does things like this. It kind of retains load up, and it just feels kind of funky. I've never witnessed anything with the edge being a problem though, so there's that. Keep that, you know, take that as you will. All right, one more pass here. Move to the other side, deburr, and we'll test her out. See if we're slicing towels. I'm also curious how long this knife will last at this steeper angle here. So it's going to be more slicey, but it's not going to have as much meat behind the edge. So it may, I don't know, it may collapse easier. It may dull easier. I don't know. It may roll. We'll find out. But that's going to be something I wanted to test. Because I'm going to do the same thing to that Suehiro. It's already a super slicey beast. I mean, you saw me cut the paper towels, those that watched the video. That thing sliced right through paper towel. Well, if I drop it back some and make that one thinner, it has a very, very good edge steel. It's only going to get, you know, slicier. So, and it should retain it. I'm curious. Because that's kind of the thing with ZDP 189. You can make a zero edge. That's what this one is, essentially. It's a zero edge, you know. You're not really going to be able to see it very well back there. But it pretty much is a zero. There's no secondary bevel. It is just straight slice. Call it Kimbo slice. But that thing will hold that. It'll hold it for a long time. So I'm curious how well this Aogami 1 will do. What's your guys' favorite steel? Like if you had to choose two, just two steels, and those are the only two that you could use from this point forward, what two would you use? I'm curious. For me, it's difficult right now. ZDP would be one of them, but it's a pain in the butt to sharpen. I can do it. Yes, no problem. It's just, it takes effort. And there are days, we all know those days where you're feeling lazy and effort is minimal. But I would, yeah, for just longevity's sake, I think ZDP, as well as its stainless properties. Man, the other one though is kind of difficult because Aogami Super comes to mind, Hap 40 comes to mind. But I don't know. I think because Hap 40, if you think about it, it's not that hard to sharpen. But R2 or SG2 also is not hard to sharpen, and it's a very good steel that has good edge retention as well, that's easy to sharpen. But Aogami Super, that's just like, that's just good stuff. you know? Man, it's difficult to think of two. Maybe if there was like 5 I could take, I could do that one. That's easy. I don't know. Yeah, what two? So far, I'm going to just say, I'll say ZDP 189. Screw it, Hap 40. That's the two that I would take right now. That may change in a month's time. I got word from James at DMD. He's shipping me out that fixed angle unit, so that's going to be fun. Can't wait to check that bad boy out. I thought about today's video uploading that Zarlik video, but I'm holding on to that for a minute. I'm going to kind of want to do a little series with it, I think, so I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going to release it just yet. I wanted to today or this weekend, but I kind of had a different idea about it. I think it's because I'm going to give away the Zarlik. I don't know. I may just buy a Zarlik to give away and keep the one I got. It's just hard. Because I want to like give you guys stuff. I also want stuff. I also want to declutter my stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. I think we're good. Spent a little bit of time on this baby. I mean, we got a complete burr, tip to butt. We have a great angle here. It's a nice lower angle. I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to deburr, and we're just going to see what our result is. So we'll do some edge leading strokage. Light pressure. Go edge leading, edge trailing. Edge leading, edge trailing. I found this works really well. I say it every time. I apologize. Man, check out my hand, by the way. Healing up pretty nice. Okay. Okay. Now we're going chickadee chick. I'm fairly certain that there's no burr. There should not be. Not with this. That stuff deburrs like a champ. That's a little rough, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to give it just a couple of quick ones. I'll give it on this little strop I got from Adonma. It's got 5-micron diamond strap from, I believe, Lacey is the YouTuber's name. I think the strop and the solutions made by her. If I remember that correctly. Adama, correct me if I'm wrong, but I hope I'm not wrong. I hope that I retained that information properly. My old brain, right? Okay. That should be good. I'm going to double check once more. I'm going to wipe her down. Oh yeah, we are 98% deburred. I got a couple spots I missed. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, you know, I forgot I was going to show you that. We'll do this first. All right, let's listen just to make sure we don't have any like hitches, catches, or whatever. Like, she just glides through. It kind of catches at the tip, though. I don't know if that's just my... Oh, that was just the way I was holding it. So, just rip-roaring. Okay. Very, very promising. Let me grab my paper tool. Where's my paper towel at? Oh, good Lord, I guess I didn't rip it off. Okay. I thought I did. Heh, I'm going cray-cray. All right, here we go. Let's see how she do. Edge geometry, I'm telling you. Oop, that's just a big-ass rip. Yeah, she... You know, I mean, we all know that, right? That geometry makes all the difference in the world, but... Oh, that just sucked. It was kind of catching all over the place. That ripped before it even got in there. Anyway, well, we saw that it did it, so... And it's doing it still. Probably just needs a little bit more deburrage. So there you go. It's a great little knife. This is... I think that this size for me is perfect for like just some... like cutting up potatoes or just some crazy little stuff, chopping up a little bit of celery or, you know, just small little things. This is kind of like a larger petty, I guess, technically. It says it's a Santoku. The shape's kind of weird because it's kind of narrowed down a little bit, and then because it's completely handmade and no two are going to be the same, there is a little extra steel in the belly here. So it kind of... This is exaggerated, but it kind of goes like swoop. But I think in certain situations that could come in handy for just certain things, you know, and just kind of cutting through things or whatever. I don't know. I'm going to use it and find out. This knife from Japanese food craftsmen, if you buy it shipped to your door using DH, no, they don't always use DH though. Either way, shipped is like 80 bucks. You can't beat that. This is, I'm fairly certain this is Shirogami too. It's one of the only ones that I know by him that are Shirogami too. Most of his are like Aogami, like I said. I'm pretty sure it's Shirogami too. So it's a great knife. For that price, if you like a smaller knife like that, it's perfect. Of course, the Debado, great stone, and the King 300 did an amazing job of setting that initial bevel. You know, no problem with the King. What I wanted to show you real quick is this sword, which, you know, I worked pretty doggone hard on this thing. Like I said, I'd never sharpened a sword before just because I was scared, and that's just stupid. I'm a knife sharpener, for crying out loud, but check it out. So, she good. This thing is a cutter and a half. I was very proud of that. Somebody's probably thinking, big deal. You know, for me, it's a pretty huge deal. You know, getting over your fears, right? Fears are just nothing but barriers. Getting over that barrier, you know, the thing that I was scared about was scuffing the surface. But then I was like, duh, I know how to polish a knife. You just do the same principle. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing that, let me know. Again, reminder that we do have the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We're headed towards 2,000 next, but not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that is the drawing. Make sure that you are a subscriber and you did comment to get entered into that. I'm giving away a ton of stuff. There's going to be multiple winners. And you guys give to me. You are allowing me to do this. And this is kind of a little dream of mine, right? I mean, I know I'm nothing huge, and that's not what I'm shooting for. I just want to do this and share my thoughts with people, and you guys make that possible. So I want to give that back to you. It's a good little community we got here, and I love all you guys. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Leave some comments down below, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Peace.